Alright, I'm a huge fan of the director of this movie. I know I might be doing a slight disservice here, but when I saw the title for it, I couldn't help but think about that scene in Batman, when they were just getting ready to get off that plane and that one character says,
"They're expecting one of us in the wreckage, brother."
So, we've started the wind.
Ah, the wind rises.
And I know that has no bearing here, but I couldn't help but think about that. Alright, let's talk about this movie. Alright, all joking aside here, I do want to give this movie proper respect, as it is Miyazaki's last film. I saw the English version, and it was voiced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, William H. Macy, Emily Blunt, and Stanley Tucci. Now, I know his films are originally in Japanese, and I would have preferred to see a subtitled version, but where I am, I didn't have that option. Okay, so if you haven't seen Miyazaki before, he's done a lot of these animated movies that have a lot of sci-fi, fantasy aspects to them, but this one was grounded more in reality. And it tells the tale of a young aircraft engineer who's trying to design planes, I think in the period around World War II. Because when they mentioned Hitler and the German army, it just gave it away for that period of time. So talking about the director's brand, I mean, straight up, my favorite movie by him is this little gem here called Princess Mononoke. This film probably rates somewhere in my top 20 films of all time. I mean, this movie just changed my perspective on anime and Japanese animation, like, forever. Because up till then, you've had very recognizable, stylized anime features that I've seen, which I wasn't a huge fan of. So for me, Miyazaki helped bring me over to that kind of culture, that kind of animation. And boy, man, this animation, he's like a master of motion with the animation. And in this movie, it is no different. And I mean, that's just captured by trains, clouds, planes, people standing in a field where the wind is just blowing the grass. You just get that sense that, yeah, there's motion there, and I like that. So to continue on a little bit about the story, yeah, he's an engineer. He's trying to develop a new plane for the Japanese, and they're just falling behind in the technology. As I said, the story is really grounded in reality. And eventually he meets this girl, and there's like this dubious love affair. Alright, that part of the story just felt a little... I didn't connect with it as much as maybe I should have, but for me it worked. Because I don't think the story would have been as interesting if it wasn't there. Otherwise, it just would have been too much exposition and too much explanation into the actual engineering of these kinds of things, which doesn't lead into solid entertainment. Okay, let's talk about the voice acting from the English version. I thought it was actually fairly well done, and that's something that's a staple in a lot of the English versions of his movies. But those had a little more fantastical elements in it, a little more fantasy. As I said, this one was a little more grounded in reality. People are saying that this is his best film. I wouldn't go that far. I would say that this film, out of his, was in the top 10 at least, animation-wise. But overall, it is an interesting watch. There are some nice dream sequences where he's trying to flush out these ideas of trying to bring your dreams into reality. I thought that was well done. That's where Stanley Tucci's character comes in, by the way. Alright, so if I had to give this movie a rating, I would give this a 6.5 out of 10. It was a good film. It wasn't a great film. I'm sorry. I know that's hard to hear, especially because I'm a huge fan of this director. But that's what I feel it was warranted. Alright, if you've liked what you've seen, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe.